A game warden walks up to your stand, asks to see what's in the ground, and what he finds determines whether you drive home with your rifle or he drives home with it. That's the reality in 20-plus states right now, and the list of what's illegal is longer than most hunters realize. I spent the off-season going through state wildlife codes, CWD regulations, and baiting laws across every state that has restrictions, and I tested 10 of the most commonly used deer attractants against those codes. 8 of them are illegal in at least some states, and several of them are illegal in states where they're still being sold on the shelf at your local sporting goods store. That's not a typo. You can buy them legally, you just can't use them legally. And the 2 that survived every state code I checked are cheaper, more effective, and legal everywhere. Those 2 are at the end of this video, and they're probably not what you expect. But before we get there, you need to see the 8 that got crossed off, because at least 3 of them are sitting in your garage right now. Let's start with the 8 that didn't make it. Number 1 is the most obvious and the most commonly confiscated shelled corn. Corn is the default deer attractant in America. Millions of hunters pour it on the ground every season, and it's illegal to hunt over in more than 20 states, including the entire state of Colorado, Illinois, Indiana, Iowa, Minnesota, Missouri, Montana, Nebraska, and South Dakota. In Michigan, baiting including corn is banned in the entire Lower Peninsula and restricted in the Upper Peninsula due to CWD. Wisconsin bans it in CWD counties, which is an expanding list that covers more of the state every year. Vermont, Virginia, Maryland, New Jersey, and others have full or partial bans. The states that still allow corn are primarily in the Deep South: Texas, Alabama, Mississippi, parts of Georgia, and the Carolinas. Even in some of those states, public land has stricter rules than private. If you hunt anywhere north of the Mason-Dixon line or west of the Mississippi, there's a better than even chance that the corn you've been pouring is illegal during hunting season. Game wardens know this is the most common violation. It's the first thing they look for. In Michigan, the penalty for a first offense baiting violation can include fines up to $1,000 and loss of hunting privileges. In Minnesota, if firearms used to take deer with bait are subject to seizure and confiscation upon conviction. The warden isn't looking for your wallet. He's looking for corn on the ground within 100 yards of your stand. Number 2, Kool-Aid powder. Grape, cherry, strawberry, whatever the flavor. The moment you put Kool-Aid in the ground, you've placed a food-based attractant. Kool-Aid contains sugar derivatives, citric acid, and artificial flavoring, all of which fall under the legal definition of food or consumable substance in every state with a baiting ban. I covered this in a previous video, and the response in the comments was split between hunters who swear by it and hunters who had no idea it was illegal in their state. If corn is banned where you hunt, Kool-Aid is banned too. Same legal category, same penalty. The fact that it costs $0.25 instead of $10 doesn't change the legal classification. The law says any food, grain, or consumable substance. Kool-Aid is a consumable substance. Full stop. Number 3, Jell-O powder. Same situation as Kool-Aid. Jell-O contains gelatin, sugar, and flavoring. It's a food product. It's banned everywhere corn is banned, plus a few states that specifically call out gelatin-based attractants in their code. The Georgia Department of Natural Resources published a hog bait recipe that uses Jell-O and strawberry gelatin, which is legal for hogs in Georgia. But if that mix ends up attracting deer in a state where deer baiting is banned, you're in violation regardless of your original intent. Intent doesn't matter in a baiting case. What matters is what's in the ground and whether a deer could consume it. And number 4, and this is the one that shocks most hunters, Tink's number 69 Downwind Rut. It's the best-selling deer urine product in America. It's been on the shelf since the 1970s, and it's now illegal to possess in the field in a growing number of states. Not illegal to hunt over, illegal to possess while afield. The distinction matters because some hunters think they can carry it, but just not pour it near their stand. That's not how the law reads. If the product is in your pack and you're in the woods, you're in violation in states with possession bans. The reason is CWD, chronic wasting disease. Prions, the misfolded proteins that cause CWD, have been found in deer urine. Virginia banned all natural deer urine attractants effective July 2015. Their wildlife department was direct about it. It is illegal to possess or use any substance containing natural deer urine, feces, blood, gland oil, or other bodily fluid while afield for the purposes of hunting, attracting, or scouting. Not just during season, while afield at all. North Carolina followed with a similar ban. South Carolina banned natural deer urine products for the 2019 to 2020 season. Oregon banned all commercially produced deer and elk urine scents in 2019 through House Bill 2294. Oregon doesn't even have CWD within its borders yet. They banned it preemptively because CWD was found in 3 neighboring states: Idaho in 2021, California, and Washington in 2024. They saw it coming and shut the door. Pennsylvania, Vermont, New Hampshire, and multiple other states have enacted restrictions or outright bans on natural urine-based products in CWD management areas. Minnesota's CWD feeding and attractant ban is the broadest. It prohibits any product, natural or synthetic, that contains or purports to contain cervid urine, blood, gland oil, feces, or other bodily fluid in over 30 counties. That's right, Minnesota bans even synthetic products that claim to contain deer urine. The science is real. CWD research in Colorado showed that mule deer were infected with CWD after exposure to just the urine, feces, and saliva of infected deer. The urine at deer farming operations is collected over grate systems that don't prevent contamination from feces and saliva. Many of these operations are in states with confirmed CWD. There is no commercially available test that can confirm a bottle of deer urine is prion-free before it's sold to you. Urine production at deer farming facilities is completely unregulated. No state or federal agency inspects the product. No lab tests it before it ships. The bottle you buy at the pro shop could contain prions from a CWD-positive deer, and neither you nor the manufacturer would know it. The Virginia DWR, North Carolina, WRC, South Carolina, DNR, and Oregon DFW all publish the same reasoning. The risk is low, but the consequence is permanent. Once CWD prions contaminate soil, they remain infectious for years, potentially decades. The state agencies decided the risk wasn't worth taking, and they banned the products. If you're hunting with Tinks number 69 or any natural deer urine in Virginia, North Carolina, South Carolina, Oregon, or Minnesota's CWD counties, you're carrying contraband. That CWD reality is exactly why I focused the Buck Hunter's Bible on methods that work everywhere, not just in states where baiting is legal. 77 tricks, each flagged with whether it's a scent, mineral, food bait, or behavioral technique, so you know before you deploy it, whether it's legal in your state. 90 pages, reference card in the back, links in the description below. QR code on screen. Number 5, Buck Bomb or any aerosol deer urine spray. Same problem as Tinks. It contains real deer urine, and it's banned in every state that prohibits natural cervid urine products. The aerosol delivery method doesn't change the legal classification. I've seen hunters assume that because Buck Bomb is a spray and not a liquid poured on the ground, it's somehow different under the law. It's not. The active ingredient is what matters, and the active ingredient is natural deer urine. If the active ingredient is natural deer urine, it's prohibited where urine is prohibited. Number 6, apple-flavored attractant sprays. Any spray, powder, or liquid with apple flavoring, fruit flavoring, or any food-derived scent falls under the food-based attractant category in states with baiting bans. Vermont, Maryland, New Jersey, Virginia, and others specifically prohibit food scents used to attract deer during hunting season. The Minnesota DNR's definition of deer attractants explicitly includes food scents in the banned category. If it smells like food and you put it in the woods to attract deer, it's bait. Now, I've seen apple-scented sprays sold right next to blaze orange vests at sporting goods stores in states where using them is a violation. The store can sell it. You can buy it. You just can't take it to your stand. Number 7, liquid molasses. I covered the molasses mineral mix in a previous video. Molasses is a food-based ingredient containing sugar and carbohydrates. Mixed with dicalcium phosphate and salt, it creates the most effective mineral site I've ever tested on camera. But the molasses is what makes it illegal. Without molasses, the dical and salt are a legal mineral supplement in most states. With molasses, the entire mix is reclassified as bait. Molasses by itself, poured on a stump, is unambiguously bait in every state that bans food-based attractants. Number 8. Peanut butter. You see, this is the one that generated the strongest reaction in the comments on my peanut butter video. That video got 33,000 views, and multiple commenters had no idea that peanut butter is explicitly listed as prohibited bait in Michigan, Wisconsin, Minnesota, and other states. Peanut butter is a food product. It contains protein, fat, sugar, and salt. It's delicious on toast, and it's illegal on a stump in Michigan. Spread it on a stump and you've placed food to attract deer, which is the legal definition of baiting in 20-plus states. The game warden doesn't care that you read about it on YouTube. He cares what's on the stump when he walks up. I got comments on that peanut butter video from hunters in Michigan who said they'd been putting peanut butter on stumps for years without knowing it was illegal. They weren't poaching. Then they were uninformed. And uninformed doesn't hold up when the warden writes the citation. Now, the two that survived. The 2 attractants that passed every state code I checked and remain legal in all 50 states during hunting season. Number 9, the first survivor. Dicalcium phosphate mixed with rock salt. Pure mineral, no food additives. Dicalcium phosphate contains 19 to 23% calcium and 18 to 21% phosphorus, the 2 minerals that deer need most for antler growth and skeletal health. Rock salt provides the sodium that drives repeat visits. Mixed together and stirred into wet soil, this creates a mineral site that deer will visit daily, and dig into a hole you can lose a boot in after 2 seasons. The cost is roughly $1.50 per site. A 50-pound bag of dicol runs $15 to $20 at Tractor Supply. A 50-pound bag of trace mineral salt runs about the same. Total material for 6 to 8 sites for a full season, under $40. The reason it's legal is classification. Pure mineral supplements without food additives are not bait under any state wildlife code I've reviewed. Missouri explicitly states that mineral blocks, including salt, are not considered bait, though mineral blocks with grain or food additives are prohibited. Minnesota, even in its strictest CWD counties, allows pure salt and mineral products that contain no food ingredients. Michigan allows mineral outside of hunting season for supplementation purposes. The dical and salt mix delivers the 2 minerals deer need most, creates a camera survey site that produces immediate results, and stays on the right side of the law everywhere. An Archery Talk poster went from 16 trail camera photos per week to 118 after putting out a dical mix. A commenter on my channel said he gets 7 to 10 mineral licks for the price of 1 commercial product, using dical with mineral salt. The commercial deer mineral companies are selling you this same calcium phosphorus salt combination in a smaller bag with a camo label for 4 to 6 times the price. I ran both on a split setup last summer, and the camera data was indistinguishable. Same visit frequency, same dwell time. The only difference was my receipt. One site cost $28 to set up. The other cost $1.50. The deer didn't care. Number 10, the second survivor. The mock scrape with a licking branch and synthetic urine. This is the one that most hunters overlook because it doesn't feel like an attractant. But it's the most effective year-round method I've tested for putting mature bucks on camera in a specific location. Find a branch hanging 4 to 5 feet off the ground over a patch of cleared dirt. If there isn't a natural branch, wire one up. It should be thin enough that a buck can mouth it and thick enough that it doesn't snap. Clear the ground underneath in a 2-foot circle down to bare dirt. That's your mock scrape. Takes about 5 minutes to build. I've built them with a stick in my boot in the time it takes to walk from my truck to my stand. Now, apply a synthetic urine product, not natural urine, to the licking branch. Code blue. Synthetic. Wildlife Research Center. Synthetic, or any product specifically labeled as synthetic and containing no natural solvent fluids. Synthetic urine is legal everywhere, including in Virginia, North Carolina, South Carolina, Oregon, Minnesota, and every other state that banned natural urine because it contains 0 biological material from deer, 0 prions, Zero CWD risk. The Virginia DWR, North Carolina WRC, and South Carolina DNR all specifically stated that synthetic products remain legal and are readily available. The mock scrape works because it exploits the communication system that bucks use year-round. A licking branch with scent on it is a message board. Every buck in the area visits it to read who's been there and to leave his own scent. You're not attracting the deer with food or minerals. You're inserting a communication signal into his existing territorial system, and his biology compels him to investigate. A buck that detects a licking branch with scent on it cannot walk past it. His territorial programming won't allow it. He has to visit the branch, read who was there, and leave his own mark. That's not attraction, that's communication. And communication isn't regulated. I've had same-day response on trail cameras from mock scrapes built with synthetic urine and preorbital gland lure. Bucks visit the branch, paw the ground, rub their forehead on it, and return every 1 to 3 days to check for updates. My best mock scrape produced 14 different bucks on camera over a 6-week period last summer. 1 branch, 1 bottle of synthetic urine, and 14 individual bucks came to read the message board. That's a better inventory result than any mineral site or bait pile I've ever run, and it cost me $10 for the bottle and 5 minutes to build. Yeah, the best part. This method is classified as neither bait nor attractant in any state code because there's no food, no mineral, and no natural biological fluid involved. It's a behavioral technique. Legal on public land, legal on private land, legal during season, legal out of season, legal in CWD zones, legal in every state I've checked. Free to build. $10 for a bottle of synthetic urine that lasts a full season. I've had bucks respond to mock scrapes built with synthetic urine within 24 hours of deployment. Not because the synthetic smells exactly like real urine, because the combination of a licking branch at the right height, bare dirt underneath, and any urine-adjacent scent is enough to trigger the investigation response. The buck's territorial system doesn't require a perfect replica. It requires a signal. It needs zero risk of a game warden taking your rifle. Everything in this video, plus about 60 more field-tested techniques, are in the Buck Hunter's Bible. Scent chemistry, mineral science, behavioral methods, stand placement, all 3 rut phases. Reference card in the back for the stand. It's in the description below, QR code on screen. 8 products that millions of hunters use every season without knowing they're illegal in their state. 2 products that survive every regulation on the books and outperform most of what got banned. A $1.50 mineral mix that deer will dig a 3-foot hole to consume. A free mock scrape that mature bucks visit every 48 hours because their biology won't let them ignore it. No prion risk. No food-based classification. No game warden concern. The game warden who walks up to either of those isn't writing a ticket. Nay, he's asking you where you bought the dye, Cal. And when you tell him Tractor Supply for $16, he might start making his own. That's the difference between hunting smart and hunting scared. I used 4 of the 8 banned products on this list before I knew they were illegal in my state. Nobody told me. The label didn't warn me. The store that sold them to me didn't mention it. I had to read the actual state wildlife code to find out. And that's not something most hunters do. Now I check every product against my state regulations before it goes in my pack. 2 minutes of reading beats a $1,000 fine and a year without a hunting license. The 2 products that survive this list work better than most of what got banned, cost less, and keep you legal everywhere. That's not a compromise. That's an upgrade.